He might definitely not come back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I am your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Blaylock. And today, we're going to be taking some inspiration from a good friend of ours, Wardy NYM. Shout out to him. He made a great video on his channel looking at 5 Mets who aren't going to return in 2022. So we're switching things up just a little bit, and we are going to be looking at 5 Toronto Blue Jays who might not return in 2022. Before we get into it, guys, please make sure to hit that like and hit that subscribe button. Also, we'll have Wardy NYM's channel in the description, so check him out if you like the Mets. All right, Adam. Let's talk some Blue Jays, dude. Potentially the ones who aren't going to come back. Who's on your list? Coming in at number 5.
Well, at number 5, and for me, I mean, it's in no particular order, but I guess I'm going to shout out the easy one first. It's Kirby Yates.
Never coming back.
He's never coming back. Wow, I'm so upset. He had such a great year. For those who missed it last year, he was out with Tommy John.
Yeah.
And honestly, the likelihood of him signing back is very unlikely. Why would we pay another dart for a guy who we haven't seen play in like a year and a half? So for me, he's not coming back.
Well, here's my argument. All
right, tell me. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for
why
it.
He should.
I'm ready for it.
How many hits did he give up last season?
0.
How many home runs did he give up
0.
last season?
How many innings did he pitch? There's my argument.
Yeah. Okay, I'll definitely see you on the Kirby Yates one, guys. We paid $4 million for a guy who had some high upside. Clearly, he didn't hit it. I wish him the best in his career. If he is capable of coming back from this and playing at the elite level that he did a few seasons ago, like all the freaking best, I just don't see how the management could possibly want to go after that again, unless it's like for a major discount, which I do think he's gonna have to do anyways. But I don't even know, man. Like, I feel like he's gonna have to do some workouts, and like prove to some teams, like, hey guys, like I am healthy, I can still throw the ball at a high velocity, because this isn't the only injury he's had. They've been kind of reoccurring. Yeah,
I agree. And if you're gonna sign him back, like it's got to be some way two-way clause in there. Like you can't have this guy locked down in your roster. You gotta have some waiver options on there, because you're a dart, dude. You're a dart now, you're gonna have to accept that.
He was a dart.
He was a dart. Now he's a bigger dart.
Now he's a bigger dart.
Huge dart. It's really hard to throw.
The bullseye is getting real small,
tiny
on this one. So yeah, we can lock that one, and there's not even might in there. I would guarantee it. Kirby Yates not returning. Dude, who I'm looking at right now, Corey Dickerson. I didn't see this guy as being a big acquisition when we got him. I was wrong. He was pretty solid down the stretch for these Blue Jays. However, that was the last year on his contract. He's 32 years old. And this one isn't as much of a lock for me.
No.
It's definitely like a might not.
No, yeah, for me, it's somewhat likely is what I literally wrote here. Look, he's a great lefty bat, and we all know how Charlie Montoyo loves his lefty bats.
He eats those lefties
always
up,
in the middle of the order.
Doesn't matter how good the Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is hitting. There will always be a lefty above him. And I would like it if we're going to have a lefty, because I know that he needs it. I would like to have a lefty that is at least serviceable, and I do believe that Corey Dickerson is at least serviceable.
Yeah, he had a 734 OPS last year, and he doesn't hit bombs. He only hit 6 bombs, but it doesn't matter. He's serviceable. He's a veteran presence. From what I remember, not bad at defense. I didn't see him, so it was good.
He was definitely, he was definitely decent, It's just like, he might not come back because a lot of other teams, I think, could be looking at a dude like this. If you're a rebuilding ball club and you need somebody to come in and help your young guys, like, learn baseball and just, like, slot into a position, maybe like Kansas City, maybe like Detroit, maybe some other teams, they would definitely be looking at a Corey Dickerson. And in that regard, he might not come back because there could be another team out there that's willing to pay a little bit more money than we would be for what is, pretty low on our totem pole of priorities.
Yeah, like he had like an $8 million contract last year, and like I could see a range of 5 to 8 again, like nothing more than that, to be honest. All right, moving on to the next guy. This guy, I actually think has the highest chance of coming back out of all these guys on this list.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Talking about Steven Matz, 30 years old. This guy was sneaky last year with a 3.82 ERA, 150 innings pitched, and I like him a lot. And when I went to check out his Sport Rack page that gives you estimated market value, there wasn't any. However, I did take a look and to see how much would it cost for a guy like Steven Matz. Very similar. Last year, Jake Odorizzi with similar career numbers and signed at the exact same age of 30. He got a 3-year, $23.5 million deal. Now, wouldn't you love Steven Matz on that deal?
Yeah, I think I could do something like that, absolutely. Obviously, Steven Matz has had his ups and his downs in his career, but he proved a little bit of something last season, and I remember those Mets fans, speaking of Wardy, as we were talking about, they were all kind of on us saying, like, you guys messed up by getting this guy. Yeah. You guys are going to see it. And there were definitely moments where we saw it. There were definitely moments. But there, large in part, ERA lower than 4. You cannot complain with that. Now, obviously, he might not come back because this is a pretty damn good year for Steven Matz. And although I think he did like the Toronto Blue Jays, I would imagine that he's in the market for that payday. He's 30 years old. This is probably going to be the best it's going to get for him, coming off of this year. So we're going to have to see. I hope that he comes back. Yeah. But he might not.
Another reason why he might come back is because you think about who they signed back last year, right? They signed back Robbie Ray, who kind of in a way reminded me of Steven Matz, where he was struggling on another team, had to get a change of scenery. He got a bit better and then came back for another year. So I hear you saying that he does need to get paid, and we probably would need to sign him to something like 3 years. I feel like that's a good range for Steven Matz, but I'm okay with it because especially the next guy that we're going to talk about on this list, if he doesn't come back, we definitely need Steven Matz.
Absolutely, dude. And the guy that Adam is referring to right now is Robbie Ray, and he might definitely not come back. And it simply, guys, comes down to price tag. He's 30 years old right now. You all know him if you're watching this bloody video.
Yeah.
If you're not a Blue Jays fan, you know him because you want him. And if you are a Blue Jays fan, you know him because he was kick-ass last year. Probably going to win the Cy Young. I hope that this ages well. I do think he will. But he is going to get a big, juicy, fat, like double whopper, quarter pounder, like a massive meat of a payday. And it's going to be hard for the Toronto Blue Jays to compete with that.
Dude, he will. Sport Rack says $89 million total for 5 years. I think it's going to even touch
Way
100.
More than that.
It's going to touch 100 at least.
I'll be honest, Sport Rack, great site. Definitely check it out, guys. But I do find that they undervalue some of the higher market
because they don't realize that Cy Young equals payday, and in a pitching market, like, you have to buy people. Like, he is one of the biggest pitchers. I mean, you think about you think about Kershaw, you think about Max Scherzer and everybody, but then you think about a Cy Young Award winner, who's 30 years old. He's gonna get paid. So for me, the reason why I think it's somewhat unlikely is just because of that payday and the age too. I mean, like, he was coming off a team that, like, he was really bad and then became an all-star and won a Cy Young. It's like, okay, can you do that again? We don't know yet. Are we willing to put in 5 years to figure that out? I don't know, because we're still trying to stay young and keep the money down.
Exactly. Robbie Ray's in such a good spot right now. He owns all the cards, right? Whereas Steven Matz doesn't have as many cards. Robbie Ray does. So if we don't want to play ball with him, he's more than happy to go and talk to the White Sox or the Yankees or the Dodgers or whoever it is that wants to go and pay him money, right? Because everybody's going to be in that conversation. Because yes, there is definitely a floor with Robbie Ray, but also the ceiling of a 30-year-old guy who's won Cy Young. Like, the ceiling is very real too.
Yeah, the ceiling is I'm going to have a great second half of career, like, become Max Scherzer.
Yes.
And age great and like, wow, where's this guy? This guy's amazing.
This guy's
amazing.
So, and that's the thing, guys. We don't know if we're going to get him back. Fingers crossed that we do, but also if we don't, I totally understand, and that is why he's definitely a might not come back. He's going to test the market, and he's going to be a guy that we're going to be watching all season long.
Last guy on the list, and I think this guy is probably the other than Kirby Yates, the most least likely guy to come back, and that is Marcus Semien.
Yeah.
And it's simply because he came here to Toronto to do one job, and that was put up a great year. You're with a bunch of young guys who clearly show they have a lot of production. Now, Marcus Semien has a juicy stat line to bring to the free agent market and show off and get paid big. And again, I think he's going to get paid more than this, but $78 million by Sport Rack for 4 years, even more for Marcus Semien, especially if he can flirt with the idea. I know he wants to play shortstop, but if you can even flirt with the idea, hey, I could flip over to second base. I did that. That provides great value. And look, he's from San Fran. He's by San Fran. Okay, he might go back and play in California. Who knows? You know, I just don't think it's likely.
What's the meme, that TikTok? It's like Marcus Semien understood the assignment. You know, Marcus Semien understood the assignment, guys. The assignment was go put the fuck up for one season long, and he really freaking did, and he deserves to get paid. Now, on the Toronto Blue Jays, we have a lot of guys in our farm system and just like guys on our team that are capable of doing infield stuff. Now, Marcus Semien played such a prominent role last year because Groshans or Elvis Martinez, they're not ready. Kevin Biggio died. Espinal was dealing with injuries throughout the year. So there was always this need of Marcus Semien to be in the lineup at all periods of time. Now, don't get me wrong, he was phenomenal, and I would love him to come back on this squad. But if the payday is going to be so sizable, and we're looking at our farm system and going, hey, like we have these juicy guys that could come up. We still have Kevin Biggio, who does have upside. Do we really want to fork over $20 to $30 million on this dude and then not use these other guys? I don't think so.
Look, for me, I lean more towards the sides of creating a franchise, right? And if you sign Marcus Semien, let's say to a 4-year deal, maybe he's really great for the first 2 years. He's going to outdo or Elvis Martinez and Jordan Groshans. But maybe by year 3 or 4, now maybe his production starts to dip off, right? With older guys, that might happen. And then you have Jordan Groshans or Elvis Martinez coming up that are doing just as good or better for less than $1 million a year, whereas he will probably want over 20. And that's the problem. And that's also how you stuck.
Yeah, and also too, dude, it's just, I feel like right now there are other teams in this league who are simply better suited to go after a Marcus Semien. The New York Yankees keep coming to mind, guys.
They do.
Popping into my brain.
You know what? If Marcus does do that, I'm going to be so upset at him. I understand, but just from a fan point of view, I'm like, I'm not going to say the words, but you hurt me. You hurt me, Marcus.
Yes and no. You know, no. From a fan perspective, it will suck, but at the same point, he still hit 45 bombs with us, and I know that the Yankees are going to pay more than we are, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's just always going to happen. Respect to you, dude. You go out and get paid. I'm
just
very happy.
Just not to the Yankees.
Hopefully not to the Yankees. I don't want to see you hitting 45 home runs against
Just go
us.
away.
Yeah.
Just go away. Go to the freaking Giants.
Back to Oakland. They're not going to pay you. They're not going to pay you.
Who, the Giants?
Oakland. There's no
Oakland.
way.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be like the Giants.
Yeah.
That's all I see.
Giants. Yeah. Well, I'm
they're
sure
trying to keep the dreams alive.
We'll be doing a whole deep dive on Marcus Semien as well, because this is we're just scratching the surface here, guys, and there is so much more offseason to cover. But that was our 5 Toronto Blue Jays who might not return in 2022. Please hit us in the comments down below about what you think about our list. Will these dudes come back? And if they will, what are the deals going to look like? And if they don't come back, who do we need to target to fix those holes? Because Robbie Ray, Marcus Semien, Corey Dickerson, Steven Matz, those are all big holes. Yes. Kirby Yates, you were just a gaping pothole from the start, so I feel like we didn't really lose anything there.
No.
But let us know in the comments.
That was an easy one. And guys, you can check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Anchor Radio Public, and Google Podcasts. I say that?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Those places.
Those are the places.
Also, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Guys, like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Today, Jays is our code for Monkey Knife Fight and for Manscaped. Use the code to get discounts and deals that you saw throughout the entire video. As well, guys, become a Patreon.
Please.
It's only $3 a month, and you can come on to the Wine on Wine. We haven't someone had on in a while. We got to get someone on.
We got to get somebody on. Comment down below if you want to call in.
These guys up here can comment down below.
Absolute studs.
Message us on Patreon. However way you want to get in contact with us, you can, man. All right.
Totally. Thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays, go!